welcome back, kings and queens. Today we're in the palace and we are talking the Real Housewives of Potomac, y'all. Season 9, episodes 8 and episode 9. This is going to be a combined review. Your girl is checking, I am just catching up. The queen is catching up, so please bear with me. So we're going to talk about episode 8. That's where GNA hosts like this wellness event. They actually had a really good turnout. Say what you want. Say what you want about Ashley and Giselle, but they can pull a crowd, which tells me, I don't know, there are some things that people just do well. They know how to pull a crowd, they know how to put on a great event, and they know how to get involved in the community. And I can appreciate it. Whether you're going to buy the clothes or not, that's not the point. And I like how they pivoted in their business strategy to be inclusive of a wellness dynamic. In addition to the merchandise, they're saying, we don't just want to sell clothes. Why don't we just be inclusive? After Giselle lost her father, she thought it would be best to include the business strategy to talk more about wellness. Okay. So this was a really good episode, not a really good episode. Let me just say, I really liked the fact that production focused on the community event and the turnout. I thought that was a huge success for both Giselle and Ashley. But Ashley singing Healing and the Thriving, no ma'am. No, ma'am. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. Healing and a thriving. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
Listen, who's healing and a thriving? Hey, healing and a thriving, going into 2025. Hey, come on, Ashley. Ashley, no ma'am. I don't need you to perform that song, not another time. That's one for the shower. That's one for the shower, but I thought it was cute. I just love a good group of women that know how to just be supportive, even when it's cringeworthy. It was very cringeworthy, but the production, y'all, they zoomed in on everybody and they were very supportive. They were able to get her through that talent show. And I like that. I like when women, Black and white, he's making noise in the background. I like when women can just come together and support other women. So I thought it was just a great example of community, women coming together, and they made it do what it do. Interesting enough, in episode 8, Ashley finally admitted on camera that Michael can be a very scary man. Oh, yes, ma'am, he is. You didn't know? You didn't do your homework? Y'all, I gave you a video of Michael Darby, and I told you Michael is a very dominant, powerful man that comes from a lineage of white men that don't play. Okay? You better do your research of him and the compounds that he has in Africa and the projects and the operations that he run. He's not a nice man at all. At all. He's very powerful. He's very disconnected. And you knew that when you got into that situation, Ashley. So she said that her relationship with Michael is volatile. Her divorce, whatever the dynamics are now between the two of those, and now she's ready. She said it took her a number of years to gear up for this because she was not ready to fight. I think you meant financially. I think he had you in a headlock financially. I think he had your back against the wall. He knew it and you knew it. And I think it took you a couple of years because you needed to get yourself in a position to be able to have some type of financial recourse, some type of financial backing, which is by way of the housewives. Okay, the Real Housewives of Potomac. So I think that's great for you. But at the same time, I think he can bleed you dry. So don't walk into this situation being naive, Ashley. I think he has the financial resources to bleed you dry. And I think he's going to do just that. So gear yourself up. That's it. That's all. TJ. He was so freaking mean to Stacy. I'm sorry. What are we doing, ladies? Ain't no freaking way in the world. Stacy, I hope your self-esteem is not that low that you will put up with that crap. You're not sleeping with him. You don't have an emotional tie with him. You don't have a soul tie. That man was mean as shit to you on camera. That was a huge red flag to me. I didn't like it. It made me extremely uncomfortable. It I was shocked. That man is going to drag you down and beat you down emotionally. That was so uncomfortable to me. I didn't like it. It felt like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And Stacy, I'm gonna tell you this: run, Forrest, run, girl. You better run. You better run. Don't go from bad to worse. All kind of red flags about TJ. It seems like he has an anger problem and a jealousy problem. Run from that shit. Mia. Mia continues to attempt to create this smear campaign against Gordon. Mia, I'm going to ask you this question. Actually, I'll ask y'all, do you think Mia is a narcissist? We rarely ever talk about female narcs. Do you think she could possibly be a narc? That's just, I don't know. That occurred to me. I'm wondering. Real quick, let's slide into episode 9. What's that girl's name? Kiarna. Throw that dress away. Throw that white dress away that you have in your confessionals. The- y'all, what is that? I don't like it. It's given runway, but not confessional. Mm-mm. I don't like that dress. Ooh, I do not like that dress. I get where you were trying to go with it. It might be a little bit too much for a confessional, but perfect for a runway. Now, Stacy was pulled aside in episode 9 by Giselle, Karen, and Ashley. And I'm glad they pulled her aside. I don't think they were trying to be messy. I think they were concerned. And I love when women come together to help other women strategize. Okay. Not everybody is in your business. Some people do, believe it or not. There's a saying that most people do want to see you do well. And I do believe they did want to see her do well. And they were concerned that she was kind of being naive and being taken advantage of it. Let's call a spade, being taken advantage of by this white man. Girl, don't get it twisted because you're the only token on the block. You get finessed too, just like the rest of us. And Ashley got finessed, and she's the perfect example. And I feel like Ashley is qualified to speak to it. Okay. I think Karen is qualified to speak to it because of the tax situation that Ray was involved in, and she had no idea. I also think Giselle is qualified. So I think this is a really good moment where they kind of reeled her in and just said, hey, listen, go in confident, but also go in and know that motherfuckers can play you as a woman. A man can go for the jugular too when it comes to his money. He will do everything to protect his money. So Stacy, the girls gave her advice about her mediation and what questions to ask at the table regarding the money. Don't just trust him to be upfront with you, especially in a divorce. Because like Giselle said, that's when you find out who he truly is. And that, you know what? That's true. So Stacy was a bit reluctant. And then she showed up to a mediation and found out, damn, there's other accounts, there's other money, there's other pipelines I had no idea about. It's kind of scary, huh? When you think about marriage, how transparent we are supposed to be with each other, who you're sleeping next to, and then we think about the movie, y'all, Sleeping with an Enemy. Damn, I didn't even know he had all that going on. Different accounts, shit put in my name. What? Oh, it's not so cute being a housewife. It's not so cute being a trophy wife, right? Not in those type of instances. Okay. So anywho, alongside of Stacy going through her divorce, TJ was still being mean to this girl. TJ, I'm gonna say this. Sir, it was given abusive because you couldn't control yourself on camera. I didn't like it. You you seem to be a very mean man. It was giving abusive vibes to me. And he hasn't even slept with the woman yet. And you acting like that. I don't think you're doing that because she left you and you felt like, "Oh, you brought me to this party and you're not checking on me." I think technically you really don't wanna be there with her on your on your arm. I think if you had it your way, I think your career is failing you. I think your looks have deceived you. I think you played out in the game of Hollywood. You recognize it, and she's still got a little mojo. She's being recruited for the Real Housewives of Potomac, and I think you're jealous. I think you're jealous. I think you soon. I think you have soon come to realize that light skin ain't always in. That gets played out too, even in Hollywood. I think you're looking for work, and I think you pissed off that she can work a room and people are liking her and loving her. And I think you thought that you pretending to like her would give you some type of clout, and it didn't. She can stand on her own 2 feet. And I really hope that as a woman that she doesn't entertain you anymore. That's it. That's all. Yeah. I didn't like how he treated her. It was unwarranted. It's very scary to me that he just turned on her like that. And he's more familiar with having a mic on than she is. And he still said and did that shit on camera. Okay? Did y'all see his behavior on camera? Were you not taken back? So a couple of things that Stacy learned in her mediation, well, we know about Stacy and her soon to be ex-husband. He managed all of the finances, similar to Ashley and Michael's situation. And she found out what she did not know. You do the math. I said that, but she also, because she met with the girls, she was about to give them a full rundown. And this is what I hate because also said she found out about different accounts and things that he had in her name. And she was about to go into detail. And Wendy's ass interrupted. Wendy interrupted. And because Wendy interrupted, Stacy didn't finish laying out what she found. Be quiet, Wendy. I needed to get the tea of what this white man had going on. And because you use yourself as an example, Wendy, I wish you wouldn't have said anything. We missed a great opportunity, girl, to get some tea on this marriage. Before we end, I just want to say this about this episode. I absolutely love Giselle's relationship with her kids, especially Grace, her oldest daughter. I feel like this is such a healthy display of a bond between mothers and daughters. And we don't get to see this often on reality TV as it relates to Black women and their children. Okay. We don't get to see it often. And I think it's so beautiful when I see Giselle on camera with her children. I just love it. I really enjoy seeing her kids on the screen. And I really hope that Bravo, Andy, you will continue to show the girls and show their beautiful faces on camera. These beautiful young Black princesses. And I hope you give them the same camera time that you've given to Teresa's girls. And I'm talking about Teresa Giudice. I just love Giselle's dynamics with her kids, and I think they're good for TV. And I think the more camera time they receive, they'll start to mold into it. I didn't like the fact that Mia went after innocent children. Just because you smutted yourself out and you slutted yourself out all through your life doesn't give you the right to talk about those kids in a manner that you did. And according to the streets, and the streets are talking, both Giselle and Mia begged the producers to not show the clip of Mia calling those young girls whores. I can understand Giselle, a very, very traumatic experience for those girls to hear that, especially if they're not doing that type of activity. Number one. Number two, I'm glad they didn't show it, but a part of me wish they would have, but I'm glad they didn't because Mia's ass needs to be put in time out. Girl, you're a whole kind of low talking about young girls like that. You're a whole pick on somebody your own size. Pick on somebody your own size. That was very, very low class. And a lot of fans are having like this outrage and this pushback and reactions to Mia and Jacqueline and what they feel like they're doing to the show. That they feel like they're taking the sophistication and the level of class down. I can agree to a certain extent. I really can. Before we log off, I'm gonna say this. Which part do I want to talk about? Oh, okay. So somebody hosted an event. I don't remember who, but Wendy's kids got on very well with Stacy's daughter. I loved how Bella, I believe that's Stella's daughter, took Wendy's daughter by the hand and they had a great time if you can catch it in different snippets of the scene. I thought this was a great display of how innocent and beautiful children are. See, Stacy? See Ashley? Because y'all remember a couple of episodes ago, both Stacy and Ashley had like this outing, and they were talking about being mothers of biracial children and how hard it is to pair their kids up with black kids. Rubbish. I call bullshit. Stacy, your daughter stepped right in. Not Mia, she and Wendy's daughter got along just great. And actually, she was like a big sister in the background, holding her hand, taking her over the event. They played, they had a great time. So stop all of this narrative, ladies, about what kids can and what they can't do and why you're having a hard time and all of that. That's your shit. Stop putting that on the kids, okay? Your daughter did just fine. Um, Ashley, y'all. I kind of like how she's showing up with Michael. She said that Michael wants her to sign a confidentiality clause and she declined to sign it. Ashley, good. Good for you. And I think you're very blessed to have more experienced ladies by your side to help you because otherwise you'd be a hot mess. You would be up shit's creek. Michael would have you by your ankles. Okay. And he almost did, if the truth be told. But the fact that this is where more mature, experienced women come into the picture because they can help you avoid pitfalls and mistakes that they've made. They can help you see things coming that they didn't see coming. And it can be a very beautiful relationship if you don't have a young buck that's trying to buck the system. That's it. That's all. And Ashley seems to have taken heed to the women's advice. And I think that's really good for her that she's standing up and she's pushing back when it comes to Michael. That's it. That's all. Mia, I think your time is up. I don't like where you're taking the show. I don't even like where you're taking your family, girl. Forget the show. I don't like how you're trying to take other families down with you when it relates to Giselle's children. You're a grown ass woman. You brought your drama to the group, and all Giselle did was she asked you a question in the same format that you brought it in front of the group. Make it make sense. Let's take it to the chat.